Niue government's ongoing derelict home saga is gaining momentum as the Minister of Health and officials travel to New Zealand to encourage homeowners of the importance of their consent to demolish houses that are beyond repair. Honourable Minister Joan Viliamu said she is pleased with the trip, but saddened also by the reaction of some of the elderly Niueans who are sad of the state of their homes. With some homes having more than one interest tied in, it was difficult. However, the majority of the discussions progressed well, with more families wishing to receive assistance from the government regarding their homes. More than 30% of homeowners have now agreed to the demolition, and the project looks positive to start soon. Honourable Viliamu said the restrictions the government has had since the project started is the availability of machinery to execute. That issue, says Minister Viliamu, will hopefully be sorted sooner rather than later before the project can proceed. Niue's Health Department is verifying figures collected in the National Health Steps survey that will give an overview of the state of health of the nation. The WHO-funded survey preliminary results returned with an alarming rate of sugar levels of over half of those tested, and health officials returned to retest those identified with high sugar levels over the past few weeks. The sugar retesting program concluded today with a few more people left to be tested.
What we have done so far is we went back to the villages and asked those people who had a blood sugar more than 6, because we found out on our last survey that a lot of people that we would have expect to have a normal sugar didn't turn out like that. And we also speculate or thought that some people didn't quite fast properly at night. That means they didn't eat something, but in fact most of them might have eaten something before they come and have their checkup before. Lately we have found that some people have blood sugars went back to normal, which is good news for us, because normally we thought that those people don't have diabetes yet. Certainly there is a certain group of people who already have diabetes as well, and at the end of this exercise we would like to know what is the real blood percentage of people in Niue who might have diabetes, so it will help us to forecast or realign our health services in the future. Up till today we have checked more than 360 people. There's still 100 people on the island that we need to ask for their cooperation to come forward, and we will check them as well. We need to get the whole 500 people rechecked, because this will be good reflection for our work here as well.
There has also been some confusion over what the normal blood sugar level is compared to what was stated in the form that was distributed.
We would have expected in the beginning of our survey that most people would have a normal blood sugar between 4 and 6. But in fact, what we found out is a lot of people who have blood sugars between 6 and 7 or more. And that really tells us that something was wrong out there. And in fact, we suspect that a lot of people didn't fast properly at night, which means they had something to eat or have a late night snack that really affects our results, and it doesn't look really good on our on us as a department if we were classified to have Niue as one of the countries with high levels of people with diabetes. So that's why we have to go back and recheck these things and make it right, so it will be good for us here in Niue, and also for the health department and the government as well. We have to return these machines to World Health Organization, and they will look at the results again and readjust what they thought that was a reflection for Niue in our initial survey. So we would expect that we have improved a lot, and I would like to thank the people who already came and rechecked their sugars again. I'm sure they were quite happy, because a lot of them, their sugar reverts back to normal again, which is good for the department and also good for Niue.
The Health Department is giving 2 more weeks to retest the remaining people before sending data to WHO, and also look forward to getting a comprehensive report on the overall state of health for people here in the island. A new initiative to add extra services to Breakthrough Solutions will give residents on the island a more convenient channel to transfer money, receive information on tax transactions in New Zealand, as well as property investment also in New Zealand. The new initiatives for the island has given more opportunities for families to think of investments. Alex Talupo, who is one of the directors of Breakthrough Niue, said the new services should add extra convenience for people.
When we set up last year, that was the whole idea, is bit by bit we're going to introduce other services as well. So this time round when I'm here, I'm bringing 3 additional services. We have more coming. And but we're doing it step by step. And the thing is that it applies to people here. The services that we are doing, the money transfers, we are Breakthrough Niue Financial Solutions, and we can look at it this way. We are finding solutions for some of the issues and problems that we have here, and we can be the ones who will break through and bringing new ideas or ways in which we're doing things there, and putting our experience and expertise back here and running our office here, and giving that convenience for our Niuean residents who are living on the island here. And so that's the whole idea for us, is bit by bit is to add more services to what we're doing. So Niue, look out, there's more services coming your way.
Breakthrough Niue has 3 new services added, with more to receive.
Actually 3 services that we're bringing and introducing this time round. The first one being the money transfer. Now from Niue to New Zealand, Samoa, Tonga and Australia, you can send money from here, and those monies can be received on the same day or instantly. And the same for people in Australia who are wanting to send money to Niue, people in New Zealand sending money here, or people from Samoa and Tonga wanting to send money to Niue. So it works both ways. So that's the new services that we're bringing. But one of the biggest difference now is that people can receive their money pretty much straight away, and there's a guarantee that the money will be there for them. In New Zealand, these are some of the services that we are already offering in New Zealand. So the second one is what we call the personal tax refund, and this applies to all the salary and wage earners. Anyone who was working in New Zealand and paying PAYE in the last 5 years, we're coming to the end of yet another financial year in New Zealand on 31st of March. So I'm saying to people now that service is there where we can check the last 5 years and see if there's any refund sitting in IRD in New Zealand that should be coming back to you. And what we need from you is that we've got a form here in which you need to sign and give us that authorization so that we can be able to act on your behalf, and we can search the IRD filing room in New Zealand and see if you've got tax refunds. So should you have refunds there, we'll claim it on your behalf and then transfer the money back here if you wish for that to happen. What we need from you for that service is your New Zealand IRD number, a photo ID, and a New Zealand address. And that's all we need for that service there. The third service that we're introducing this time as well is we noticed that there are people here in Niue who are wanting to invest in buying a property in New Zealand because the kids are now schooling in New Zealand and they need a house for them. All of that can be complicated, can be very complicated process for someone who doesn't really know what to look for in buying a house in New Zealand, getting a mortgage and all of that. Because we authorize financial advisors and accountants in New Zealand, we have the experience and the quality of service that we offer to our clients, and we are able to actually give you advice and sound advice for that investment in New Zealand. So if there's anyone here on the island of Niue who's thinking of buying a property, maybe a second home in New Zealand, so that that's an investment for the future, we're able to help you go through the process, and that service there is actually free for us because anything we do there, we get paid a commission in New Zealand for it, so it doesn't cost you anything there. But if you're thinking of buying a property, think Breakthrough is the way to go, and you can inquire about all of that in our Breakthrough Niue office here.
Mr. Talupo is one of 3 directors of Breakthrough Niue Financial Solutions Company in Alofi that opened a year ago. Local farmers can rest assured that their comments have been taken on board, with the Department of Agriculture, Forestry and Fisheries importing more chicklings to boost food security on the island. The department has gone ahead and ordered in the first batch of over 500 chicklings that arrived a few weeks ago. Based on demand, DAF is prepared to provide this service to source chicks from overseas to be sold to farmers or those interested, but this new arrangement, however, will come at a cost to the farmer.
We can provide the support in that we can arrange for the order. We'd put in a group order for people. So we'd look after them for the first 4 weeks and give them a good start in their life and let them go out to the people in good condition. But of those 4 weeks, the farmers that would request the chickens, they would be paying for their feed. The DAF support comes from, would go and feed them and look after them and make sure they're in good health for the duration of the 4 weeks. The cost actually depends on how many chickens that farmers order, but we could say as an average, we're looking at about $13 per chicken, and that includes the feed for the first 4 weeks and looking after the chickens. So approximately $13 per chicken.
This new program is also the result of village consultations with farmers last year. Also, the success of the trial FAO project that saw the distribution of chickens to households on the island a few years ago identified that there was an apparent demand for the importation of chicklings. The new chicklings are currently being cared for at Waipapahi before they are delivered to their owners. Niue's Can Recycling Depot has reopened to collect a surplus of cans that have accumulated over the few months it has been closed since last year. The depot, operated by the Catholic Mission, now has a change of committee, and the decision now is to avoid the sudden influx of cans for crushing, that the process is to be done gradually.
Why we're doing this? Because it has been quite a long time, and there was no cans collected or crushed, so we presume there's so many in the homes. So we don't want to get flooded with the cans all at once from everywhere, because we cannot. They have to be counted first, and then also another problem, we haven't got the facilities to store them, and also the rain, because if we leave them outside, all the cans will be filled up. So why we selected to go from Alofi north to Makefu, so we can cope with the amount of cane for the day. But we, from next week, it will be extended to Tuapa and to Mutalo, and it will go right around Niue, and eventually we'll do the whole island. And that is the problem why we're taking gradual amounts of, so we can cope with squashing them or crushing them. And as you know, there are a lot of canes, being accumulated over the last few months, even 12 months, I would say.
In the past, there have been challenges that the committee has identified and are finding ways to cope with, but public cooperation is important for operations to continue.
We had a lot of problems before with the same problem we're having now, and I want to get rid of that problems, and it's up to the public to help us with this, because they deliver their cans with the rubbish, especially the cans from the restaurants. There's certain restaurants here that they just put everything with the cans in the plastic bags, and by the time they get to us, there's maggots in it, and we found that recently in the last few days with maggots in the with the cans, and food scraps, serviettes, every rubbish you can imagine. And I don't want to see that again, because our workers have to handle these things, nobody likes to work in that condition, and it's a health hazard to anybody. So please do it. You have to do it. You have to make sure that your cans are clean before you deliver. Otherwise, there will be a penalty. For every can that's dirty, we're going to deduct 2 of your good cans, because we have to wash those dirty cans before we can process them.
The can collection depot is open on Tuesdays and Thursdays from 9 until midday. The hope is that with the right processes, policies and structures in place, the operational side of collections will improve and in turn increase the financial returns for consistency of operations. And to conclude our news tonight, celebrations were held at the Makini Hall today to commemorate International Women's Day to mark the economic, political and social advancements and achievements of women. Held on the 8th of March each year, this year's theme, Connecting Girls, Inspiring Futures. The special program that was hosted by the Niue Council of Women brought various women's groups together with a formal opening to place. The program, the speeches from government officials in support of women's advancement and empowerment on the island. The day concluded with songs, dances and other activities. And those are our news stories that we have for you tonight. We do hope that you enjoy the weekend ahead and that you're able to join us again for our next news bulletin next week.